Tell the truth. Do you ever just want to be by yourself? Like, I certainly do. Right now is one of those times when I want to be by myself. And so I am outside to be by myself. However, I am not by myself because my dogs are right over there and they are whining and barking because they see me outside and they just can't leave me alone. That's okay, because I'm gonna make it work anyway. I'm outside, so I'm right underneath this big tree that I'm pretty sure I'm allergic to because it causes me to like sneeze, cough, and have runny nose and watery eyes like every time I come near this tree or the pollen that it drops on the ground, which I see a bunch of it. So bear with me. Especially during these uncertain times of coronavirus. Yeah, you can't be too careful, but you can't catch it through your screen, so you're good. So yes, I am here today and I don't exactly know what I'm making a video about just yet. I guess it will come as I speak, but I just knew that I needed to get on here and make a video, and I can't explain why. I just feel a tugging of my heartstrings to just do this, to be here and to speak the truth and just make myself available. And so that's what I'm doing today. I am here to speak the truth and make myself available. So a little bit about me that you guys may not know. I am a Christian, and as a Christian, that means that I have a very specific set of beliefs. And I laugh because lots of people claim to be Christians, but they don't really adhere to what it means to be a Christian. And I get that, of course, but I think that there are certain things that make a Christian, and it's not a lot of stuff. Surprisingly, it's a short list, and for some reason there's like an argument or a disagreement about what's on this list. So just to clarify, when I say that I'm a Christian, what I mean is that I believe in Jesus. I believe that he is the Son of God. He's God in the flesh, that he died for my sins personally to save me from myself. And he rose again, and he's at the right hand of the Father, and someday I'm going to be with him in heaven because I trust him as my Savior. So that's what I mean when I say that I'm a Christian. I don't mean like any of the other hundreds of things that could possibly be on that list. I mean that one thing, that I believe in Jesus. I believe he is who he said he is, and really there's nothing else. There's no argument, there's no debate that needs to be had other than that. I believe, and that is all. That's all it takes for me to be a Christian. That's all it takes for you to be a Christian. That's all it takes for salvation, even, is that I believe. So, I mean, debate if you will, but that is what the Bible says. So I believe, I'm a believer, and that is it. So if you have any questions about that, you're more than welcome to put them in the comments below, and we can talk about it and we can discuss what that means for me, for you, for anyone else. We can talk about it. If you have any comments about that, of course, use the aforementioned comment section. But I just think that it's very important in a time of, well, a time of crisis that we're in, really. yeah, time of crisis. There's nothing else to call it. I mean, we're under a global pandemic right now. We're in the stay-at-home order. We're quarantined, and I just, that's all I can call it, is a crisis. But I think that it's very, very important during a time of crisis to kind of stand up and say who you are and what you believe. I think there are a lot of people out there searching, wondering, worrying about just really their mortality. If I'm being honest, that's what they're wondering and worrying about, their mortality. I think during this time it's become painfully clear what's important and what's not, and I think we all have a very clearer understanding of what's important. And I'm pretty sure at the top of that list is staying alive, and probably your family, your super close friends. I mean, the list is not very long right now. You know, people are struggling to make it. They're trying to survive. They're trying to make sure that they keep a roof over their head and keep their lights on and have food in the kitchen. So, you know, there's really not a lot of time for much else other than the important things. That's all we have time for right now, is the important things. And so for me, being who I am and knowing what I know, I just really want to give people hope in a time that appears dark and feels very dark. I mean, even for me as a Christian, I feel discouraged some days. Some days I feel down. Some days I feel depressed, like, when is this going to be over? And oh, my kids are driving me crazy. And you know, the whole gamut of things. Trying to I'm a small business owner, so that is stressful, you know, not being out there running my business. You know, is my business going to survive? So many questions. My husband is essential. Is he going to contract the virus? Is he going to bring it home to us? You know, are we going to make it through this whole pandemic situation? I'm sure you guys are all experiencing the same thing, the same questions, the same concerns about your family, and just making sure that after we come out of this, that number one, we still have our lives, our health, and the lives and health of our family. So I just really felt the need to say something. I've been pretty much quiet during this whole coronavirus pandemic thing, quarantine, and a lot of that has been due to just busyness. You know, I'm trying to stay afloat. I'm trying to make sure that my business stays afloat. I'm trying to homeschool my children. I have 4 of them, and it's a lot. You know, I've never been the one to condemn teachers or put them down or, you know, teacher shame or anything like that. I have friends who are teachers, and so I get it. I know that teachers work really, really hard, harder than most people would even know or assume or believe. Teachers, I mean, they're out there on the front lines a lot of the time. And so now to be placed in the position of teacher for my 4 children, and you know, it's a lot. And each child has, you know, X amount of teachers. This one has 7, this one has 6, this one has 4. It's a lot. It's a lot. All these different classes, all this homework, it's a lot. And I applaud the teachers. I mean, you guys are the real MVPs, really. And to now be taking that position on myself, like, I see how stressful it is. And I only have 4. You guys have 30 or more. You know, you have 30 in each class, and who knows how many classes you're teaching. So for me, I definitely am, I'm in awe of what you guys do as teachers, and I thank you. I truly do. Thank you for dealing with a lot of these kids whose own parents don't even want to deal with them. Like, let's keep it all the way real. You're dealing with kids whose own parents don't even want to deal with them. So thank you, teachers. I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to the first responders, to firefighters, police, EMT, doctors, nurses, all of you guys, the techs. Oh, you guys really are on the front line. Like, you talk about teachers being on the front line, you guys really are on the front line. You guys are risking your lives for us, to save us. People who, like, only think to themselves, hey, I want to get out, I want to go to the movies, I want to go to a restaurant, I want to get a haircut. We're not even thinking about taking this seriously. Most people are taking this seriously, but a lot of us are out here protesting about how we want to reopen the economy, not realizing what that would do to all the first responders if there was a resurgence of the coronavirus outbreak. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, surely some of you protesters must know a doctor, a nurse, some type of first responder, a police officer. Like, ask them if they think it would be wise for us to just, reopen the state, reopen the country, go back to business as usual. Even with social distancing, we're still at risk. And if you don't believe it, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. As of today, over 53,000 Americans have died of coronavirus and coronavirus related. That's a lot of people. That's a lot. We're almost to 1 million cases in the United States. That just saying that number, speaking that number, like, it doesn't feel right coming out of my mouth, because I almost have that kind of a manifest destiny type mentality. We're the greatest. That's what they teach us in school growing up, that America is the greatest. So please just indulge me, because I was taught this as a child. It's not until you grow up and become an adult that you start to question things. But it just doesn't feel right to have so many American lives lost to coronavirus. And so I would hate to see more of that, or greater numbers, a resurgence of that, a second wave as they call it. Like, it sounds awful. But here we are, protesting. So anyway, I digress. Honestly, I want to say to anyone out there that there is hope, and if you need a little bit of hope, I'm making myself available to you to foster hope, to encourage you, to let you know that people care about you, and like, we all want to make it out of this. Each and every one of us. There's not a person who's out there like, man, I hope I die of coronavirus. Like, no, your will to live, your desire to live just takes over. And I want to give you guys hope. Even when I'm feeling down, when I'm feeling like, man, what is America gonna look like? What are we gonna look like coming out of this? What is business going to look like? What is day-to-day life going to look like coming out of the coronavirus epidemic? I don't know. I really don't know. But I do know that I have a hope that's inside of me, and I hope that you have hope inside of you. And if you don't, talk to me. Send me a message. Send me an email. If you need someone to talk to, want someone to talk to, if you have questions, ask me. I'm here, I'm available, and it's what I do. I think that is the thing that's kind of been nagging at me, because this is what I do professionally, and so to do it on a personal level, it's kind of like, I can't explain it to you. You just kind of have to imagine. If you can't relate to what I'm saying, it's just kind of like, you're bringing work home, and that's what I've been doing this whole time that we've been under quarantine order or stay-at-home order, whatever you want to call it, I've been bringing work home. And so home life doesn't feel like home life anymore. It feels like work never stops, basically. That's what it feels like for me. But that's okay, because honestly, God created me for this purpose. He created me to receive His glory through me, through my life and what I do, each person that I touch, including you watching this right now. That's what I was created to do. So I don't feel any type of way about it. I don't feel overwhelmed using my gifts, my God-given gifts, to do things on a personal basis that I would normally do professionally. Like, to me, it's like I'm the same person all the time, so it really doesn't matter. Like, if you talk to me like in my real life, you're probably talking to Cami the therapist anyway, so no big deal. Like, ask my friends, like, I don't change. Being home versus being at church versus being in the office, like, I'm the same. I'm the same person. So really, me being on YouTube doesn't mean anything either. Like, I'm not a different person on YouTube than I am in real life, and nor do I feel like I should be. You know what I mean? Like, just be yourself, be who you are. And so this is who I am. I'm not just a counselor, I'm a Christian counselor, and I'm okay with telling you guys that. Like, I don't feel any type of way about telling you guys that, hey, you know, in real life, I XYZ. Like, this is me in real life. So if you have questions, if you have comments, if you have concerns, if you just need to talk to somebody, now for free, mind you, I'm not trying to make any money off of you guys. I'm not trying to charge you $100 an hour or anything like that. Like, just reach out to me, because I have a hope that's alive within me, and I would love to share it with you. Meanwhile, my dogs are literally raking in the fence over there, so I'm gonna have to let you go because I need to handle that. But seriously, reach out to me. Bye, guys.